Troops in state of survival are crucial for every player. Obviously. Without troops you won't be able to participate in any event and don't even think about launching or joining rallies. In today's video, I would like to take a look at the different troop types and what they specifically do in battle. What are plasma skills and how do they act in actual battle? Did you know that they work pretty random? Without further ado, let's take a look at troops in state of survival. Surprise, surprise. The stats of troops are false and incorrect in-game. As usual, Kratos' team has calculated the real values. I'll be using these throughout the video. To understand troops, we must discuss the way battle works. I've made a video on this in the past already, but for clarification I will say this. In battle, the first attackers are infantry troops, followed by riders and concluded by hunters. All troops attack and defend at the same time in new battle engine. Stats of troops consists of four main factors: attack, lethality, health and defense. Defense means troops reduce damage they take. Health is a factor that explains how much damage your troops can sustain before being heavily wounded. In battle this doesn't mean anything, this is always a multiplier of 10 for troops. Defense multiplied by health is what we call protection. Attack means troops are able to do damage, just like lethality, which is also a multiplier of 10. Lethality and attack make up the damage troops can do in battle. Battle is determined by protection and damage stats. In the new battle report, general stats are added to the specific troop stats. In battle this won't change anything and is a visual addition. To avoid confusion, the extra stats of gears and research get added on top of the basic troop multiplier in battle. They do have effect on your health and lethality stats. To summarize, defense and lethality are set multipliers that can't be changed, even if you upgrade your troops. Attack and health are variables and upgrade the moment you upgrade your troop tiers. This doesn't mean that defense and lethality are always a set factor. Gears and research up this number. Troops, however, is always a set multiplier of 10. All three troop categories, infantry, hunters and riders, consists of two troop types. For infantry troops that would be shields and shotguns. The game states that infantry defense is increased against either hunters or riders depending on the troop type, but this is incorrect. If anything, this adds a small percentage of damage, but so small that you won't actually notice it in battle. The troop levels that use shields are Tier 1s, Tier 3s, Tier 5s, Tier 7s, Tier 9s and Tier 11. The other troop levels are shotguns. Infantry troops have high health stats, but low attack. Now in old battle engine, shields die before shotguns. Troops wounded in a fight start with the weakest tier shield infantry and continues up to the strongest shield infantry, followed by the weakest to strongest tier shotgun infantry. This is why Tier 10 troops look more survivable in old battle engine environments. However, this does not mean that Tier 10 is stronger than Tier 11 in old battle engine. Their stats are still far ahead of Tier 10. In new battle engine, this is different. Troops die at the same time at an even rate. The hunter category consists of bows and snipers. Just like the infantry troops, it's possible that they do some sort of extra damage boost, but not necessarily against riders or infantry troops. Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 6, Tier 7, Tier 10 and Tier 11, the snipers of the hunter category, have the ability to bypass infantry troops every 20 rounds in battle. When we speak about bypass, we mean that you get to hit other troops than infantry troops. In this instance, snipers will attack riders instead of infantry troops. Now, what if there are no riders left in battle? Every 20 rounds, your hunters will attack the enemy hunters. If there are no hunters left, the infantry will be attacked again. Hunters have high attack stats, but low health. Riders are differentiated in bikers and ATVs. The game states that they do extra damage to infantry troops. However, this is fake. We would be using way more riders in our rallies and we all know that's absolutely not what we are doing. Just like snipers, bikers also bypass the infantry troops on round 20. Bikers are Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 5, Tier 8 and Tier 10 rider troops and will attack hunters first instead of infantry. Riders have average stats in general. Starting from Plasma 3, troops offer an additional damage bonus. Depending on the level of your troop type, it gets up to 0.6% for Tier 11 Plasma 10 hunters and riders troops and 0.58% for infantry troops. This is what we call plasma skills of troops. The value is randomly chosen by the game and can be in between 0 and this number, depending on the max percentage. Infantry troops have slightly lower max benefit than the other two troop types. All values can be found on this sheet. The plasma skills displayed in-game are completely false. It's a very small damage boost, but that's it. Now, the million-dollar question. Tier 11 or upgrading the plasma level of your buildings? Let's take infantry as example. When we look at the sheet and take the most important stat for infantry, health, we notice that the value for Plasma 5 T11 is equal to Plasma 7 Tier 10 troops. Tier 10 Plasma 10 also outperforms Tier 11 Plasma 8. Tier 11 in general is very expensive, while upgrading buildings is for the most part a little cheaper. However, it's still up to you to make the decisions here. After all, you are the boss of gameplay. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it and learned something new, slap the like button. Understanding troops is one thing, but do you understand heroes yet? Check out this video in case you are a free-to-play player. All heroes you actually need are discussed here. Until the next time.